maybe she's hoping to play the chopper from Japan as opposed to the world number 2. You can understand that, to be completely honest. But here she is, signing some things for the fans, making their day. What an incentive to come to one of our ITTF events. The World Cup here in Macau, the Mixed Team World Cup in Chengdu. We've got the Doubles World Cup as well, a brand new event coming soon. But here's a look at the women's singles draw. Xin Yubin through to the Final Four, following in the footsteps of Sun Yingsha, who just beat Anna Gotter earlier, saving 2 match points, and Sabina Winter, the European number 1. That's going to be a really intriguing clash there between Sun Yingsha and Sabina Winter, because Sun's never played her since Winter changed her style.
And that's something that Xia admitted to earlier on. But we have 1 slot left to fill in the women's draw. Our attention now will turn to the men. And here he comes, questing for World Cup glory. Wang Chuqin up against Darko
Let's
Jorgic.
welcome the player for men's single quarterfinal.
So,
欢迎男子
Let's
运动
meet
员
them.
入场。
Representing Slovenia, Darko Jorgic.
So Darko Jorgic arrives to take on the formidable man, the last man standing for the Chinese men, but what a man to play.
Representing China, Wang Chuqin.
Yep, there it is, the world number 1, the man who has won so much, but the man who is on a mission to carry his nation's hopes here in the ITTF World Cup in Macau, China this week. The fans have packed into the Galaxy Arena in anticipation, maybe even expectation. But as we discovered earlier on with their other favorite, Sun Yingsha, you can't always take it for granted. Is Chuqin going to be tested by the Slovenian, who is under no pressure in terms of expectation here whatsoever? The head-to-head also tells you that it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Yes, in the US Smash the last time they met, Darko took 2 games off Chuqin, but Chuqin has never in any other encounter lost more than 1 game, and on 2 occasions has blanked Darko Jorgic. So there's a clear-cut favorite here, Fraser.
There absolutely is. Wang Chuqin looking for the missing piece of the puzzle here. After winning the World Championships, he'd love nothing more than to win the World Cup. Darko Jorgic looking to be the first Slovenian man to make it on the podium of the World Cup.
There's history everywhere you look. And as Wang Hao has a few words with Wang Chuqin. Wasn't that lovely from you, Bin? She was like, really? I've achieved something no one else has?
She didn't know. Maybe that was a good thing.
Yeah, probably was.
She might have put a bit more pressure on herself if she'd known.
Yeah.
I'm sure he knows.
Yeah,
He's the kind of guy to do his homework, Jorgic.
Yeah, of course. Here we go. Coin toss with Ingrid.
Black. Black, winner. Receive.
So here we are then, that win against the former World Cup winner, Dima Dmitry Ovcharov, really was a statement victory. And he finished it off like this, by this stage, against a very well-beaten German.
The battle of the backhands. Jorgic coming out on top against the German legend, the 2017 World Cup champion, Dima. Great win for the Slovenian.
Wang Chuqin, well, we know all about his qualities. We also know about his battling qualities, because in recent times, he's been pushed hard once or twice by players, and he got arguably the toughest draw, it felt like, when it was Felix Lebrun who he came up against in the round of 16.
This was an iconic showdown. The last Chinese man standing, beating the champion of the champions, Chongqing. Look at Wang Hao.
His branding always says anything is possible, but it felt as if defeat was also possible there, yet somehow Chu Chin managed to get it done. And you're right to highlight Wong Hao's reaction. He knew just what was riding on that for everybody involved in the elite echelon of Chinese men's table tennis. So now he goes again. And maybe he plays with a bit of relief now. But he has to be careful, because if he lets down his guard, Darko's a dangerous player.
It's going to be a different kind of match, stickier, bittier, grittier against Darko. I don't expect to see so many rallies, because Darko's a real spinner. And I think it'll be within the Slovenians' interest to keep these rallies short, to serve very aggressively against Chu Chin, because Chu Chin will try and find that crossover, get that forehand in, which is so often impending doom.
First game, Georgie to serve, level. Love 1.
So we know about the Darko backhand, but we know all about the Chu Chin backhand too. What are the other key action areas to look out for?
Of course, the most important thing to think about is the serve receive.
Love.
Jorgic is a backhand-based player, likes to play backhand serves from the forehand side, increase the likelihood that he can play a backhand on the third ball. Just to get a backhand down the line, switch, Chu Chin wide forehand at the right moment.
2, 1.
A little corner edge gets Darko on the scoreboard.
Chu Chin's got the best service game in the world, and as a left-hander, it makes it even more difficult for the righty to receive. Jorgic still has good hands.
Oh, that arm raised early. An early celebration to get the crowd going.
It's rare to see Chu Chin play 2 backhands in a row during the rally, but that was the right time to just use the pace on the ball to switch Jorgic around.
Then he gets a break. Okay, that cancels out the little chip off the edge earlier on. Ooh.
4, 2.
Oh, it's an action-packed opening 6 points.
That's the backhand, the heat-seeking missile in full flight. Jorgic, one of the best backhands in the game, but he's looking for that.
Left 4, 2.
I'd say Chu Chin has an underrated backhand. It's exactly what it needs to do to set the forehand up.
5, 2.
5-2. Just warming to his task. Strutting around as always. Always projects great body language, Chu Chin.
He looks so locked in right now.
There's that service. I mean, all looks good right now. If the unthinkable had happened, that Chu Chin hadn't made it through against Felix the other day, I wonder what the repercussions would have been for all of those involved.
Oh, top block from Chu Chin. Oh, it would have been.
3.
It would have been anarchy. It would have been crazy. It would have put pressure on the women today.
Yeah, and also remember, Shudong's not here, so that's a player that might have gone deep in this event.
Potentially. Jorgic beat Shudong this season.
Yeah.
But that would have been the first time since 1999. Still could be, of course, that no Chinese man of the tournament made it to the podium.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, when you look to all these historic things, I suppose you have to take into account changes in format and everything like that. It was like the Yubin thing earlier on. No Korea Republic players ever medaled, right? Never been on the podium at all.
That's right. There's nowhere to hide these days.
Left, 3-9.
It's finding this very hard going, Darko.
Serve from the Slovenian, good length, but it's, yeah, Jorgic is always going to be worried about how Chuchin finds that crossover, finds that forehand side. Jorgic's forehand stood up really well against Dima, took it nice and early. Chuchin is serving in a way which invites the open play. He doesn't want to have to face heavy topspin balls from Darko. That's why he's not playing so many backspin serves.
Yeah. So business-like really from Chuchin there, and I don't think there was anything that surprised any of us too much about that first game. But it does mean that there's already pressure on Darko. Scoreboard pressure, crowd pressure as well. Matthew Mahmoud there with the instructions. I don't think anything will have changed in your mind from what I asked you at the very start of the match in terms of what Darko's got to do. Because the problem is, the constant is that Chuchin is so difficult on his own service. He's got to make inroads there, isn't he?
Yeah. Chuchin's success rate behind serve is up there, usually in the 80s and 90s. He's going to bully Darko, force him into the storm. Darko doesn't want to be in open play with Chuchin. He wants, as I said, to absolutely grease that ball with as much spin as possible to stall and freeze up Chuchin, make him nervous. I think Jorgic is going to have to try to serve most balls into the short forehand of Chuchin. Cross court, cross table if he serves from here.
Left, love, 2.
He's going to have to put on a service masterclass, Jorgic, to even have a chance.
Love, 3.
It's not looking too good right here.
No.
Number 16.
No, I mean, if you were to call up the service win percentages, Chuchin's will be sky high. Cute.
3-1.
Cavalier was that from Darko. Unbelievable shot.
He made it look so easy.
It's a heavy serve right there. Clever mix-up from Chuchin. This game is just so handcuffing.
Yeah.
It's insane. He does the simple things to perfection. But the full stroke forehand, even off the half-long shot there, full throttle. Felix Lebrun yesterday
5.
played one of the best matches of his life. Maybe the highest level we've seen from him.
Yeah, I think so.
Chuchin still came out on top.
5.
And you relished the challenge, but he was put through the ringer at times in that match.
Yeah, lost the first game. He was behind in game 2 as well. That game 2, for me, looking back at it, was a bit of a turning point.
Yep.
Or a bit of a what could have been moment, to put it better.
Left. 5. 3.
6-3. Just get the feeling for Darko, it's now or never. He can't afford to go 2 down here, even in a best of 7.
Yeah, comfortable there, Darko. What a great example of his blocking ability, how he holds the table.
The forehand did its job, and then he got onto his preferred backhand. It just has to stand up to scrutiny, doesn't it?
Yeah.
4. 7.
And it's going to be subjected to intense scrutiny.
It's going to be stretched to his limits, the Slovenian. Nice change of direction.
Yeah. Now's his chance.
That's that serve I was talking about. So much topspin just laced. It's a serve that Chuchin can receive powerfully.
Yeah.
That's why Darko serves predominantly topspin most of the time, because it can skid and it dips. You can't hit a ball with that much topspin too hard unless you play a worldie. So his serves have been good. His receives are getting better.
And you can tell by the noise that for the first time in this match, the crowd feel they have to give Chuchin a little bit of help. And this is quite the run for Darko Jogic.
He's going to load up that ball here. The former Europe Cup champion.
Left. 7. 4.
3-time winner of the Europe Top 16 Cup, Darko Jogic.
7. 8.
Whoa, would you listen to Wong Hao?
I think he miscontacted the serve, the European.
Left. 7. 8.
Oh, whoa.
Artistry from the man with his arm raised.
The feeling, the flair, the Chiquita. This ball here was just uncounterable as well. The spin up on the forehand. What are you meant to do? But again, Jogic with the flick. Wins the point straight away. That's what I say about Darko, is good at making it a sticky game.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't win this cleanly.
It's very different from the challenge Felix Lebrun offered, which was matching Chuchin, punch for punch, blow for blow. This is more about frustrating him, isn't it?
Yeah, as I say, freezing him up. And Jogic has done a good job of that here.
Whoa. Oh, there's a chance, because that gives Darko Jogic an unlikely game point that did not look on the cards earlier on in this one.
Oh, Jorgic rolls it up and smokes it.
Whoa! We saw Chu Chin with his tongue out, and now it's tempting to say the cat's got the tongue of some of these fans. They cannot believe this. This match is all square.
It was a good receive. It was all cards on the table there from Chu Chin, but here in the Las Vegas of the East, an ace from Jorgic. A royal flush of a forehand.
So what's proving so difficult for Chu Chin here? What did he and Wong Hao have to work out there, Fraser?
A lot of it's going to be the serve because Darko Jorgic is serving in a way which is making Chu Chin feel like the only option is to play the forehand touch from the backhand side. That's unusual. But it's clever from Jorgic because he knows that he is susceptible to the diagonal where Chu Chin pins his forehand. So he's playing the perfect service game here, as he needs to, Jorgic.
Yeah.
As the player with the worst forehand.
And he only has to miss by a fraction to be under the pump.
His backhand can live up to Chu Chin. We're going to see Jorgic standing quite centrally at the table. Forehand's looking pretty lively here.
It is. Did we do it enough justice? It's more than just functional.
Obviously, it's a world-class forehand, but he just takes it a little bit later. And it takes him a little bit longer than, say, Chu Chin to play it repetitively. He likes to start with slow spin back up. Get a block out of the opponent and come in with the backhand finish. It's an interesting pathway for Chu Chin here as he's looking for his first World Cup title. Not having to play an Asian player at all.
Yep.
Felix Darko here. Either Ugo or Alexei next.
What a lovely change of direction to make it a 2-point lead.
It's going to test his adaptability playing against so many different styles. This is a real test for Chu Chin. The last Chinese player standing. This is cinema.
The louder they scream, the bigger the deficit for their star player.
Serve long to middle. That's a good way to shut down Darko Jorgic, but you can't make it predictable because they'll make the adjustment and run foot you.
Left, 5-3. Left, 5-3. Left, 5-3.
Just when it looked like we were stuck in a loop. Chu Qing comes out of it.
Bit of fortune there from Lionheart. Levels it. Great fight back. Crisp backhand counter there. That's an encouraging bit of play here.
Very crisp.
Straight as an arrow.
Oh, that just clambers over the net. And on such things is hope built. 6-all, Darko serving.
Getting onto that forehand when he knows he really needs to. Darko.
He's coming at you.
It's just iconic, isn't it? When he gets onto that forehand. That transition between the backhand and the forehand. Balance,
the
activation.
Classic.
It's just Chinese table tennis right here.
But he can't get away from his opponent. He can't get the separation he wants, Chu Qing.
Oh, whoa.
That's a big break. Big break for the second time in a couple of points.
He took it so late and so low against such a ball that is a miracle. How has it even made the table? What a shot. I know it finishes with some fortune, but still, that is very low percentage.
That, though, is sheer class from Darko Jogic, who moves to 3-game points for a 2-1 lead over the world number 1.
Fair play to him. He's coming here to the Lion's Lair. He's not standing down.
Oh, he's got another one. Oh, wow, that's cruel on Chu Qing. 2 heavy net cords and 1 edge off the end of the table. And the net, as it were, result is a 2-1 lead for the Slovenian.
Team China have tamed their fair share of backhand beasts from Europe over the years. Not just Jogic and Demon, but players before that. Alexander Karakasevic, Kalinikos Krianga. 2 famous examples. Chinese so often taking the forehand dominant approach. can put more into it. That's what they're trying to set up. That's what makes Lin Chidong quite unique, the fact that he's a backhand-based player.
Yeah. What we haven't seen is that cartwheeling forehand yet from Chu Chin when he just goes all in.
It's difficult to do because of the contact of Jorgic.
Yeah.
And because the ball often doesn't come that deep. If you notice, a lot of Jorgic's initial spin shots land mid-table. So it dies on you before you can counter like Chu Chin likes to.
2, 1.
All of which is adding up to a fascinating matchup here. You said he would make it sticky, and he's done just that.
He's not getting that one back though. As we see, Wang Lichin, Chin Chi Jen, Chu Chin's training partner, New Guan Kai. Can Jorgic go one better than LeBron? Take 3 games off the world champion. Looking around, there's fans are literally praying here for Chu Chin.
2, 4.
It's 3 points in a row now for the world number 1. To the table to level it.
These are tense moments all of a sudden. I think after the first game, I don't recall many big gaps between these two in terms of the scoreboard. It's been neck and neck, hasn't it?
Just like it was in Vegas. Tight battle. Very difficult to get any kind of momentum. They're both so strong on serve ultimately. If it drifts even half an inch, Chu Chin's all over it. So we're trying to load that serve. There comes the risk with it carrying a little bit long.
But he comes back again. Do you remember all those years ago, it feels like, when we said the Chu Chin serve was going to be almost unattackable, there would be a big problem. Well, that's not turned out to be the case either. Seems a long time ago, the start of this match. So much has happened since then. His play in terms of what he's getting up is incredible.
Because of the timing, the area of the sticky rubber that Jorgic contacts the ball is also a bit different. So sometimes you're looking down thinking, well, why wasn't there so much topspin on that? That's why Chu Chin blocked it.
Yeah.
And it didn't land. So it's a very difficult game for Chu Chin here. It's not a clean game like he had against Felix Lebrun.
I hear you. Look at that. All of them, bar one, up on their feet. They know how important this is.
8-7.
The whole China team was out earlier for the Xia match. And I can tell you, as I stood down there and watched Hannah, unfortunately for her, blow a couple of match points, they were almost in disbelief. Are we going to arrive at a similar situation here with the #1 man? He's being tested in a way that I don't think many expected him to be.
At this point, I see this as almost a must-win game for Darko Jorgic.
Yeah.
You can't let him in. He'll smell his prey from a mile away. Can't let him too close.
Left 8-9.
The forehand of Darko Jorgic is his best friend.
He got a little bit of fortune with the net, but that was an exquisite angle from Darko Jorgic.
And it sets him up for a 3-1 lead if he can convert. If and off he goes for a timeout ahead of a service that means so much to this match, to this World Cup.
ali ja mislim da će plan doći. I tu loptu ide duboko u formu. Ajde, Deki, ali onda se brzo oporavite da ti ide to paralelno. Može? Kad on dođe na seriju, kad dođe, može da ide bananu. Nada da ide bananu. Pa mi servira nešto, to je teško mi je. Plakice ti ne daje. Malo se više pomagati. Nije tu krenu. Ovo malo nije bez tira. Evo. Time!
Really interesting to see what happens here. He's dropped the odd point on service. He's tended to win the second, but clearly the importance of this occasion, Fraser, meant that he felt, okay, the timeout's necessary. So does he come back with a winning formula? He does,
11-9.
because that now is a massive point one. You said he had to win this. It's given him now a 3-1 lead. It's taken Darko Jorgic to within a game of dumping out the last hope for China.
This would be the biggest win of Jorgic's life. Hands down, nothing comes to mind that's bigger. He's won European titles, he's won 3 Europe Top 16 Cups, but to become the first Slovenian man to reach the World Cup podium, to beat Wang Chu-Jin, a man who he's never beaten before, would hit different for the Slovenian. Chu-Jin has it all to do. He's up against it all here. He's the last Chinese player standing in the men's singles here at the World Cup. If he loses this, he'll leave without a medal around his neck. We haven't seen something like this since 1999, when no Chinese man stood on the World Cup podium. This is just incredible. Man. He needs 3 games in a row to world #1. And this is his opportunity to make amends from the Paris singles.
5th game, Jorgic to serve. level.
This could make things right for Chu Chin.
Left, love,
His
all.
World Cup title.
The branding of Chu Chin talks about hope, and he'll never lose hope. He'll never give up hope. But will he be denied it by this man?
1-0.
If you're a fan of the top Chinese table tennis players, and there are plenty of them around, you'll have been put through the absolute ringer today emotionally.
For it to happen at the Champions Chongqing is one thing, John. For it to happen at the World Cup, one of the Grand Slam contributing events, well, that would be a whole different thing altogether.
Left, 2-1.
If he comes out of this, Chu Chin, then he'd be a hero. He'd be an absolute hero.
He is playing for so much. Wang Chuqin. Timeout called. We know what Darko's playing for. You've just said it. Biggest result. Best.
Yeah.
But for Chu Chin, it's just way, way bigger than just this match, isn't it?
Way bigger.
灌主了有些猜的可以策略，猜不对以后我用我来上这个路啊，没关系啊，因为他这种所有的他没有说往前，他就往后退上，等着你拉着他往后面看着你这一下，这个不能着急啊，还是拉着你不能全扑扑上去完以后这个我觉得这个啊，拉球变可以练练说控制，刚才有一种现场的目啊，我想球起来拉漏了，想一球全是低的，他就因为他往后退上，他可能看不了。 对吧？啊，没关系，啊，这种情况就往前站，直接拉住，往后退，好吧？再一个发球也没用，这个让他还是把下一招手抄，如果真想抄，直接抄，啊，没问题啊。
3-2。
来，走。
He opens up a little gap again.
He's locking down the key areas of the table, flicking through there. This backhand blockade. And even the battering ram that is the Chu Chin forehand can't penetrate through him. He's in trouble here, John.
Been in trouble before. He's got the game to get out.
Left, 5-3. Left, 5-3.
Oh, tension or what?
Even in the net.
5-4, they're all up.
The team spirit, the unity, the depth. Unmatched for China. But it's the Lone Ranger from Slovenia that keeps his lead in a game that could win him this match.
You know, this isn't much different from what we've been seeing all the way through this match. It's just that it matters so much more now. Oh, and point by point, he's getting closer to the dream.
He's feeling it, Chuchin. He'll remain aggressive. He'll remain aggressive where he can be.
Yeah. I'm just wondering how much that Felix match will have helped him. Not in terms of the style of play, but just the steel, the strength mentally. Or has it drained him?
The last thing he needed. The net from the forehand of Jorgic. Listen to that. Catharsis from Chuchin. Can't blame him. This is make or break. It's wonderful play. Jorgic stitches him into the crossover section with the forehand loop, and it's 6-9 now. He won't lie down, Chuchin. He won't give up.
7. Play, please.
This is just insane. The mental resolve from Wang Chuchin. A mind like a steel trap. Could he set up a game point, or will it be match point?
Left. 9 all.
Game point for Wang Chuchin. He's doing what he did against Sora Matsushima at the WTT finals last season. Was he 3-1-9-6 down? Oh, but what a flick from Darko. Mate Mahmout, his right-hand man on his feet. 10-all. Second game point for Lionheart. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. But Chuchin is still alive here. How the hell has he done it? He stared defeat in the face. And he managed to squeeze through what seemed to be an impossible position. Hope still alive here in Macau.
Hope springs eternal. I just wonder, Fraser, how much the LeBrun match and this is now taken out of Wang Chuqin mentally. He's had to fight so hard. This is all around the stadium. I was just down there. I thought there might be an interview to do. And there are fans that can barely watch.
I know it's... It's one of the most turbulent events I've ever seen, I've ever been a part of. Crazy, absolutely crazy, John. It's going to take a lot out of him. Even if he gets through this, it's going to be a tough semi-final.
And now you have to think about Darko, and I just wonder whether he'll dwell on the opportunities in that last game, particularly at the end.
It's going to be difficult. Knowing you were in pole position, 2 points away, 3-1-9-6 up, or whatever it was. To play another game after that. To have to stare at Wang Chuqin on the other side of the net, knowing that he's gaining momentum, knowing that mentally his toughest test might just have been passed.
He might as well just go for it now. No one would think the worse of Darko for just taking his chances now. Sensing this is the moment. He doesn't want to go to a decider here.
But I've got a feeling that might be what is going to happen.
Because he's still reeling, isn't he? Still struggling to come to terms with it. And this remarkable player, Wang Chuqin, is now building up some real momentum.
This is the definition of danger. It comes from nowhere. You can't see a way. And Jorgic just then was 2 points away from winning this 4-1, from knocking out the world number one. And look at this now. A couple of moments later, we're here.
Complete turnaround.
Chu Chin will leave nothing to chance now. He's walking the walk. And he's winning points on a canter.
Yeah, he's using everything now. He's using the crowd. He's using whatever he can to get into that mind of Darko Jorgic and unsettle him. And he is. He's shaken.
He's somehow going to have to just roll with the punches.
Okay. Gets in, swats it, anything, any means necessary. Couple of points, some hope, and some concern. Guanxi, don't worry, he says. But they're all worried.
The block of Darko was solid, but the forehand just falls short. Oh my, oh my.
Look at that face. You've got to admire these guys, what they're going through here. Oh, that is such a moment of originality and quality in the midst of all this tension.
That's an ice-breaking dive flip.
It's a change in pattern. And it might be significant. Or Wang Chu Chin will say, I got this, and my backhand's got this. I think you're right, Fraser. I think I know where we're going. 7th heaven.
This is why Wang Chu Chin and Sun Ying Sha have the most fanatic fan base in the world. They can be tested to their limits, but they're capable of finding a way.
Again, he finds a really nice line, but is it too late to save the game? The last man standing marches into a decider, having flirted with disaster. Who's the favorite now, I wonder? I think the crowd might have an idea. We'll find out who makes the semi-final when they come back.
5. 7-3, ready to serve, level.
It all comes down to this.
Left, love, all.
One set shootout.
Love, 1.
The Lion looking to defend his lair.
1, all.
What we've seen is that even when you're a couple of points away from beating a player like Wang Chuqin, you still have to keep that underdog mindset, that mentality. If you don't, you're in danger.
Left, 1, 3.
Is there to be another twist in this? And as they look on, hoping that there isn't another twist, I wonder, has the dark horse, the Darko horse even, maybe had his best moments? Is he running on empty now?
To say it, but it's certainly looking like that here, John. What he's doing here, Wang Chuqin, as the last man standing to face off against Felix Lebrun, the French phenom, the #1 pen holder in the world, that who even Wang Hao will admire. To win as he did in the 6th game, to come back from 3-1, 9-6 down against Darko Jorgic. Is just unthinkable. I'm speechless.
5-2.
We often talk about greatness and we talk about what makes a champion. It's okay putting opponents away time and time again, but it's adversity that shapes them and the way they react to it. And that's what we've seen today from the 2 best in the world. There it is. That's the one where he spins away from the table, all or nothing. And it was all.
He's steamrolling through this 7th. Man, Wang Hao. Watch the back Darko, he slowly spins it.
7-3.
Is there any way back here for Darko Jogic? Three-time Europe Top 16 Cup champion. Locked in the match of his career. Biggest match of his life. The imperience aura of Wang Chuqin. Have to respect. You just have to respect what the world number one's done here. He is silencing any doubters. If there are to be any critics out there, they've got no leg to stand on.
Left 4-9.
He wins both points on receive, Darko Jogic. 7-9. Oh my God. 3 match points for Wang Chuqin. To remain for the man chasing his first World Cup title. The favourite in almost every event he features in. Tested to his limits here this week in Macau. Can he make it to finals day? Yes, he can! Darko Jogic was 2 points away from winning this 4-1. But Wang Chuqin has pulled off a Houdini-like escape. That is unbelievable. He'll be hurt, Darko Jogic. He'll be heartbroken that the man with over 1 billion people rooting for him, the man carrying the hope of the Chinese national team, Wang Chuqin, will live to see another game here at the World Cup in Macau. Cinema, absolute cinema here. Leading up to the Centenary World Team Table Tennis Championships in London, marking a 100-year anniversary for ITTF and table tennis. I don't think we could have hoped for a more dramatic plot. With the champions Chongqing, the World Cup here, what we've seen has been simply stunning. Shakespeare couldn't write a better script as we head towards London, as we head towards the final day of action here at the World Cup in Macau.
Wang Chuqin has just reminded us again why he's number one, why he is a champion. Chuqin, congratulations. Gongxi, an incredible comeback. Now tell me this, after you dropped 3 games against Darko, how did you calm down? How did you find your focus? And how did you retake control of this match?
王楚钦再一次提醒我们，他为什么是世界第一，是冠军。恭喜完成这场精彩的逆转。在被达科连追3局的情况下，请问您是如何及时稳住心态，保持专注，重新掌控了比赛节奏？
首先我觉得也要把掌声送给达科吧，我觉得我们2个奉献了一场精彩的比赛。其次呢，我认为今天达科的这种意志品质也是非常的顽强，在第2局自己也是大比分领先的情况下，赢下自己以后，自己可能在心态上出现了一定的这种波动和起伏，但是在3比1落后了以后，我觉得王浩指导让我到沙发上坐了一会儿，然后给我接着再去讲的时候，自己可能就冷静下来了，然后感觉再不冷静可能真的没了，然后我觉得。虽然说当时的局势已经很被动了，但是作为一名运动员来说，我还是不想就这样轻易的放弃吧，我还是想去赢下每一分。
First of all, I think the applause should also go to Darko because we pulled off a great match together. He showed his great mentality. And for me, in set 2, I won it with a large margin. And after that, I suffered some mental ups and downs. However, after I was behind 1, 2, 3, Coach Wang Hao asked me to sit in the bench, asked me to calm down, because otherwise the match may not go my way. Yes, I was quite passive on my back foot, but as an athlete, I don't want to give up. I want to fight for every point.
And now you still have hope, your fans still have hope here. But first, the Felix match. Now Darko, have you seen something that you need to improve if you carry on here in the World Cup?
那我们可以看到，球迷依然对你保持着非常高的期许。我们首先是对阵了 Felix 勒布伦，然后是达科。从这些比赛中，你是否有看到任何地方可以继续提升，让你的世界杯之旅走得更远？
哇，有太多了，感觉全是问题。但是我觉得，这都是后面的话了吧。自己很庆幸又活了一天，希望。能带着这一份庆幸继续往下走下去吧。
There are simply too many places for improvement. I think I'm loaded with issues. However, that's for me to address later on. I'm just lucky that I can survive for another day. I got lucky. I hope I can continue to be lucky.
Lucky? Maybe. You played so very well. Thank you so much. Good luck, and thank you for speaking to us.
Whew. Tough day at the office for Team China today. Goodness gracious me. But the Wang Chuqin and Sun Yingxia fans will be relieved, and they'll be delighted that they'll get to see their world number ones battling on finals day. Sun Yingxia saving match points against the African champion Hanagora. Wang Chuqin so close to bowing out here against the Slovenian star Darko Jogic. A 4-3 win for the top seed. Who will he face? We'll find out in 2 matches' time as Alexis Lebrun, the European champion, takes on the reigning champion of the World Cup, Ugo Calderano. We're about to get to see the last women's singles match of the day.